And welcome in everybody to yet another edition of the Weekend Planner right here on Wood TV Plus. Phil Penarski here, ready to guide you through all the fun things that you can check out this weekend right here in West Michigan. Of course, you can find the full Weekend Planner right now over on our website, woodtv.com. But we do have a few interviews to get to right now to get you a better look at some of these events, including one happening in South Haven this Saturday and Sunday. It is the Bagger Racing League over at Gingerman Raceway. We spoke to some of the key players involved with that one to let you know what to expect with this racing event. Zach, Andy, AJ, and Rob, thank you all so much for joining us today. We've never had this many people joining us on one specific event call, but I think it's appropriate that we are because it's a very big event coming to Gingerman Raceway in South Haven this weekend. It's Bagger League Racing. Thank you all so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. All right. Well, Rob, let's start off by talking a little bit about Bagger Racing. You know, you are the founder of the Bagger Racing League. And I think a lot of people who have joined and maybe even seen some of these races before, they kind of know what to expect. But let's talk a little bit about specifically what is a bagger?
Well, Harley-Davidson obviously has really planted their flagpole on touring, comfort, the ability to really cover great amount of distances. And they've used a motorcycle that has been around since 1965 as a touring model. And during that time, they had been used in bike shows and things like that, but never really put into a position where they could showcase all the abilities that are capable with the aftermarket lending a hand to build these bikes. So in 2020, we had the first ever bagger race at Laguna Seca Raceway. Many people were still locked into the COVID situation, so no fans were there, but everybody was watching on television. And by the time we were done, our practice had received 1,000,002 views, and I think our first race was like 3.9 million views. And obviously at that time, we felt that we had kind of really locked into something that people were interested in. And over the last 6 years, we've grown quite a bit each and every year. And now it's Harley-Davidson versus Indian, and you bring your most prominent touring bike out, a lot of modifications to it, and then you take it to a road race facility like Gingerman and go out there and rider, the builder of the bikes, and obviously the fans get to really enjoy and see what's possible with the American V twin world.
Yeah. Now, again, we're taking a look at some video right now of some of those races as part of the Bagger Racing League, and it's really interesting to see. Again, this is not something that people get to see very often, especially here in West Michigan. It's going to be an awesome time over at Gingerman Raceway. Zach, you know, you're the general manager of Gingerman Raceway. What is it about Gingerman, though, that really makes this a perfect venue to host something like this?
Well, I mean, we have 360 acres. We have a lot of space. We can do a lot of different things. Last year, they did an adventure bike course, which is really cool, that utilized a lot of our property. You know, we have a lot of space. We have a great kitchen. We have a great place to watch, Spectator Hill. We have a spot where you can see the whole track, pretty much. Very spectator friendly. And, you know, it's pretty. We're out in the country, and we're also, you know, South Haven is a really pretty tourist town. There's a lot of things to do, the lake, and there's a water park a few miles from us. Yeah. There's other things. I guess those are the main things.
Right. Yeah. Well, and you guys are also celebrating 30 years this year. I mean, it's a big deal for you guys to have not only this event in town, but also to, you know, remind everybody that you guys have been here for 3 decades.
Yeah. It used to be an apple orchard, and my dad built the track in 94, 95. And yeah, it's our 30th season, and, you know, we're a small family business. You know, my mom and sister work there. And yeah, no, it's great. You know, we're growing. There's a lot more room for growth. We just had Grid Life, which is a big 7,000 person festival, music, racing, drifting festival. That was huge. And yeah, I think we keep growing. I think another thing why it's great to have it at our track, we're a very safe track. We're really one of the safest tracks in the country. We have a lot of runoff, sand pits. There's very little to hit. Can be technically challenging, but it's also a great track for beginners. And yeah, it's just very safe.
Yeah, no, again, that's also very important, especially for events like this. I want to bring Andy and AJ into the mix now because you guys are over at Grand Rapids Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson, obviously, their baggers are going to be on display at this event as well. Let's talk a little bit about the specific bikes that people will be able to check out. I mean, what can we really expect to see on the racetrack as far as speed, size, durability, everything really on display?
A lot of the bikes you're going to see is kind of what Rob had touched base on. It's going to be the V-twin touring. Those models are going to range typically from street glide, but the most popular right now is the road glide with the fixed fairing, of course. You're going to see these bikes modified. They're going to reach speeds of 140, 150 miles an hour on
Wow.
straightaways. We as a company are going to bring out some of the bikes that we build. We're very race family here. We love the performance and being able to build these bikes, mock bikes like you'll see on the racetrack as well.
Mm-hmm. And what's it going to be like kind of seeing that on the racetrack? I mean, knowing that you kind of, have helped build this and helped bring it to life and seeing everybody and bring it to the audience, really. I mean, what is it going to feel like when you're actually seeing them being ridden around the racetrack?
Oh, words can't explain it. I mean, it's one of those things that you have to, if you have an opportunity, you got to come out and see it. Very kid friendly. We love seeing the younger generations out there. But to see the skills of these riders is absolutely amazing. Very technical. Great group of guys. When you go down pit road, they're all very friendly. They're all talking about
Mm-hmm.
motorcycles. And again, what we like about this event is we make it kid friendly, family friendly. So, bringing on that next generation of riders.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that. All right, well, let's talk a little bit about what's going to be happening on both Saturday and Sunday over at Gingerman Raceway. Rob, you might be best to answer this. I mean, what can we really expect for anybody that's never gotten the chance to see a bagger race before or see some of these events that you guys have hosted? What can they really expect from the time they show up to the time they leave?
Well, Zach and the crew are very good at getting us out on the track. This would be on Saturday morning. We have a warm-up session. We go into the qualifying aspect of it, parts where people get their grid position based on how fast they can make it around without any of the, you know, the, the the racing that goes in. Then we have a lunch break. Now, during that lunch break, the fans, and usually AP and his crew lead them around. We have a fan lap where people get to go out and see what Gingerman Raceway is all about on their own bike. And you have to have a helmet on and proper apparel, but we take you for a lap or so around the facility. We come back 1 o'clock sharp. We have our first race of the day. Normally it ends around 5 o'clock or so is when we're done for the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, they have the exact same kind of formula on Sunday. We have a little bit of a delay in there because we want to be respectful to the neighborhood and the rest of the folks around there. So we still start at 1, but we have a little longer delay. But 2 days of excitement. As Zach had mentioned, the hillside up there is a great viewing spot. And then AP and his crew, they bring out all their fans and dealership employees and their customer
Mm-hmm.
base. And they do a great job of helping us kind of spread the word. And we're really excited to be partnered up with Grand Rapids Harley Davidson and obviously Gingerman Raceway. Both of those, middle of the country kind of morals and ethics. They're there for the people. They want to make sure everyone has a good time. And we couldn't ask for 2 better partners to put this event on with than Gingerman and Grand Rapids Harley Davidson and Fox Power Sports.
Mm-hmm. Well, you guys are looking to put on a really great time. I'm sure everybody's going to have a really great time this weekend over at Gingerman Raceway for Bagger Racing League. Before we let you guys go, though, I would love for you guys to kind of go one by one, let you guys have the final word, make your final pitch out to everybody. For anybody that is still maybe on the fence about showing up this weekend, what would you tell them to get them out to Gingerman Raceway? Zach, why don't we start with you?
Well, I was going to say Saturday night we're doing ride-alongs. We're going to have some
Oh, wow.
of our instructor drivers that can give rides for a couple hours, which is a blast. I mean, it's one thing to watch it, but to actually get out on the track, it's a lot of fun. It's like a roller coaster. It's really a blast. So that's going to happen, and we have a really beautiful campground. We have a pond, people can fish. We have campsites, and again, there's great entertainment at our track, and there's a water park 3 miles down the road. There's a lot to do.
Right.
And hopefully we'll have good weather. I haven't checked the weather. But yeah, it's a blast. It's very laid back. The baggers are really cool. All the Harley dudes, the Harley people that come are really cool, and it's very festive and a lot of good vibes. And you just there's tons of bikes. There's a lot of. I'm not a huge motorcycle guy, but there's a wide variety of bikes and things to check out.
Mm-hmm. spend the whole day out there if you need to.
Mm.
Absolutely. All right, Andy, same question out to you. I mean, if for anybody that's still on the fence, what would you tell them to get them out there Saturday or Sunday?
Oh, I think this is one of the greatest events that has been brought to Michigan. This is a large event that's been growing over the last few years. This is our third year attending. We camp out there all weekend. We have our tent and the bikes that'll be there all weekend. So I highly suggest that you ride out there, drive out there. If you have an opportunity to camp out there, this is one of a lifetime thing for Michigan again.
Right. AJ?
For me, I will just say I think this is going to be amazing. I'm a South Haven local, so to see my passion actually being brought and displayed to the world at my local track, Gingerman. Been there many times, but never got to see this in action. So this is going to be awesome. The younger generation, like myself, I will say, I mean, this is where you're going to come to actually see these bikes being pushed to their limits. These things used to be only focused on really comfortable rides and just kick back and kind of, got the nickname geezer glides, but they're putting performance on a new level now. So it's just awesome to see.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. And Rob, wrap it up. Let's end it on a good note. What would you tell somebody to get them out there this weekend?
Well, obviously, I certainly appreciate what these other gentlemen pointed out. I mean, if you haven't seen it live, if you haven't heard the noise, if you haven't felt the bikes breaking through the wind there and the turbulence that they cause, it's must see. Then, if you spend time out there and you're a Harley Davidson or an Indian enthusiast, the amount of sponsors and vendors that we have that show up, it's kind of like a trade show almost. You walk up and down, you see some of the great components you may have had a question about, and the person that invented it or installs it is right there on site. Like I mentioned, the fan lap, their AP and his crew usually lead the bikes around. That's something pretty special. We really try to give the fans something to go home and talk about for a whole year till we come back again. Every year the crowd has grown, the number of racers has grown, and I haven't heard anybody leave Gingerman and the South Haven community without saying, yeah, that's one of my favorite places to go. The folks are so nice, they're accommodating, they work closely with us to make sure that we and the fans have a great experience. And the fact that you took some time out of your day to give us this chance, we appreciate that, and we want to invite everybody out. It's not a party unless everybody's invited.
There you go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thanks really goes out to the four of you for joining us today. Again, we really appreciate it. And again, if anybody has any questions about Bagger Racing League over at Gingerman Raceway in South Haven this weekend, we've got ways to grab tickets, find out more information. All of that can be found right now inside this week's weekend planner over on our website, woodtv.com. Zach, Andy, AJ, Rob, thank you all so much for joining us today. We so do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Of course. It's going to be a high octane event for sure. We are going to be taking a quick break now. And on the other side of that break, well, we're going to be talking all about another event to check out, actually, right here in Grand Rapids. Welcome back, everybody, into the Weekend Planner right here on Wood TV Plus. It's time to now talk about the Grand Fondo, everybody's favorite bike ride in downtown Grand Rapids. It's back for another year, and you can actually take part in rides from a family 12-mile ride all the way up to an 80-mile gauntlet. We talked to, again, a few of the organizers and partners behind this year's event to see what's in store this time around. Maggie, John, Michael, thank you all so much for joining us today. We are so excited as we get set for yet another Grand Fondo here in Grand Rapids. It's going to be an awesome time this weekend. Thank you all so much for stopping by.
Good morning.
Yes, no, absolutely. Again, let's talk a little bit about this race. And before we kind of get started in that, John, this might be a question best suited for you as the ride director for the Grand Fondo. We've talked a couple of times in the past about this event. What does Grand Fondo mean exactly? It's always so much fun to say. I've always wanted to know what that word actually means.
Yeah, so Grand Fondo is Italian for big ride, and that's exactly what this is. It's West Michigan's and Michigan's biggest road cycling event. It's been happening for many, many years. It's right in downtown Grand Rapids, goes all the way to the lakeshore and back, and also has distances for people that don't want to do necessarily the big ride. They might want to do a medium ride or a short ride or even a family ride. We have it all.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You guys really do have it all. We're going to get into just a little bit about what these courses are going to be entitled. But again, big ride. I think that makes sense as this is a super huge event for us here in West Michigan. John, how's it been really like getting everything set and kind of going? We're really just a few days away from this year's Grand Fondo. How have things been kind of going in anticipation of that?
It's been going great. This event, even though it's a 1 day event, it literally takes just about all year to really prepare for. So, come next Monday when we're done with this event, we will be starting work on the 2027 Grand Fondo, which blows my mind to even think about. But it's
Right.
been great. There's always wonderful partners that we have on board every year. Obviously, Key Bank, and
Mhm.
we're working with obviously Mary Free Bet again, which we just love, and we've got some other great partners. So there's that piece of it. There's always the challenges of the courses because surprise, in West Michigan, there's actually some road construction here and there. So every year there's always a few curveballs there that we've got to work around. But the city's wonderful to work with. The different municipalities, everybody's really coming together for this really great community ride. So by and large, it's just a pleasure to put this on every year.
Mhm.
Everybody is really working for it, which is just really wonderful to see.
Yeah, no, again, it probably helps to have sort of the backing from the community members, other organizations like Key Bank. Michael, you are the president of Key Bank for West Michigan. I mean, why was this something that you guys over at Key Bank wanted to be a part of yet again, sponsoring, being the title sponsor of the Grand Fondo?
Um, Great question. And honestly, I go back years. John talked about the fact that this has been going on for many years. So I had an opportunity years ago with my family to do the Grand Fondo, not the 80-mile ride. We started with the family ride, which is only 12 and a half miles. But at that time, our kids were younger and we did it. And at that time, I think we rode in support of their grandmother who had cancer. And so it was really a way to honor her. But what we found is it was just a great, fun event. And after we got done riding, there's an incredible street party. We just had a lot of fun. And so we started doing it every year. And during COVID, it kind of went away and it was getting resurrected post COVID. And
Mhm.
had the opportunity, said, hey, it's coming back. We love this. How can we get involved? And we had the opportunity to become the title sponsor, and Key Bank jumped on it. It's fun. It includes all ages, families, all rider types, and it's back downtown. It's outside. It's raising money for a great cause. There's so many reasons to get behind this and to participate. It was a no-brainer.
Yeah, no, again, I think having that personal experience for yourself and having your family a part of it too, again, I think that's a pretty good reason why you guys wanted to be a part of it once again. Maggie, let's talk about Mary Free Bet and the whole aspect here, because again, a lot of the proceeds that are going to be raised from this year's Grand Fund are actually going to be helping you guys and doing some of the amazing work you do at Mary Free Bet. Could you be a little bit more specific? I mean, how are you guys going to be really utilizing the funds raised during this ride?
Yeah, absolutely. We're super grateful for our partners at Grand Fondo and Key Bank for allowing us to be a part of this event again for our third year. Over the past 2 years, we've raised over $140,000 to benefit three specific programs at Mary Free Bed. So one being our wheelchair and adaptive sports program, which provides access to sports and recreation for people of all ages.
Hmm.
If and sports is such a big part of being a kid, being adult, makes you feel like yourself, part of being a team. And that program at Mary Free Bed serves thousands of people each year across our state. People are traveling all over the state and outside to participate in our wheelchair and adaptive sports program, a program that's almost entirely funded by philanthropy, would not be possible without the
Hmm.
support of our community. And if you have kids or you've played sports in your life, you know that sports are expensive and there's lots of equipment that comes with adaptive sports. So support for that specific program is this program wouldn't happen without the support
Hmm.
of our community. It also benefits our recreational therapy program. So think of what you like to do outside of your 9 to 5, whether that's gardening, walking your dog, playing golf, tinkering on engines. Recreational therapy uses therapeutic interventions to help you get back to doing what you like to do. So for patients that haven't, maybe their goal is to stand for a long period of time,
Hmm.
that they just can't get over that barrier of, gosh, I have to stand for a minute, and we have patients who haven't been able to stand for a minute doing nothing, but you put them in front of their favorite activity that makes them feel like themselves and gives them fulfillment. They're standing for long periods of time, which is just one example of how rec therapy is so important. And again, a program and services that are entirely funded by philanthropy. And then the third program that this benefits is Mary Free Bed Kids. So uh, physical, occupational, speech, orthotics and prosthetics services, everything that Mary Free Bed Rehabilitation offers, but for kids, which we often forget that kids are anywhere from 0 to 18 and come in all different sizes and different circumstances that have brought them to Mary Free Bed. And Mary Free Bed's able to support them and give wraparound care to not only kids, but to the parents and their care system that are caring for these kids. So again, a program that is heavily under reimbursed, and so would not happen, and we wouldn't be able to have the access to care without our generous community. So we're just really grateful for the people that have supported and participated in Grand Fondo to help support those programs at Mary Free Bed.
Yeah, no, I
Just
love
to
that.
add on
Again,
a little bit to that,
yeah,
when she
absolutely.
talks about Mary Free Bed and all the different programs that this supports, I'm still kind of amazed. Everybody, I think, in our community is aware of Mary Free Bed, but I don't think they're aware of how impressive Mary Free Bed is, all the services that they do, and how nationally recognized they are. So being able to do something really fun outdoors in Grand Rapids on a bike and raise money for this organization is phenomenal. And if you go over there and see what they're doing and how they're adding on and building programs, it's very impressive.
Yes, absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself, Michael. And again, I think the work that Mary Free Bed does is going to be on full display at this year's Grand Fondo. And again, just inviting, letting everybody know that they kind of belong and giving them another reason to kind of go that next day and, try and just do that next thing. It's just super incredible. John, I kind of want to circle back, though, and talk a little bit about the race now, because there are going to be a couple of questions from people wanting to know about the actual ride itself. Let's talk about the fact that, it goes from that 12-mile family race all the way up to that 80-mile gauntlet, which just sounds insane to me. I mean, what should riders really be expecting this time around? Whether they've done these a few times in the past, maybe even that 80-mile ride, but maybe are coming in this year wanting to know how to best be prepared for everything this time around.
Sure. So just to clarify, even though some people will race this, it is a ride. It's timed, but there's no awards, there's no places. So it really kind of puts a focus more on it being a community activity. But
Right.
again, we will have people that race this like crazy. So make no mistake. But so basically with this event, if you can ride on two wheels, you can pretty much do this event. You don't need a crazy bicycle. You don't need all the best equipment and the tight outfit fit and all those things. Like we will have families out there, grandmas and grandparents, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters, kids and burlies, little kids, in the little seats behind the parents. I mean, they'll be doing the family ride. They'll be doing 25 miles. So we have distances for people that are just casual cyclists, or just they like to get out on a weekend with their family on a trail system or in their neighborhood. I mean, this event is for literally everybody who likes to just be out with each other on bikes in a very safe, controlled environment. The family ride is primarily on trail system. Like 95% of it, I think this year we increased the amount of trails that they access. So super safe. We've got police at major intersections. We've got police leading riders out. We've got different cycling shops around the area that are supporting riders again all along the way. We've got civilian moto out there. So if you want to get out and ride on the West Michigan roads, I mean, this is probably the best opportunity that you'll have to do it in a as safe as possible, situation. And on top of that, this is kind of a rolling buffet for people. We've got rest stops out there, but we've got breakfast burritos at one. We've got hot ham and
Oh,
cheese
wow.
sandwiches at another. Breakfast sandwiches, and then also like grilled chicken sandwiches. The kids have cookies and fruit cup and PB&Js, and just they're stopping at these and they're spending time. They're not just woofing stuff down, grabbing a water or something. They're getting off their bikes. They're talking about how the ride just went for the last half hour or whatever the distance is, when they get out to the lakeshore, the police stop those riders who are in that peloton, who are leading, the way out there. They stop and they get off their bikes at the lake. They get their photos. They'll eat their chicken sandwiches out there or whatever they're going to have. And they enjoy the experience all along the way. So that's really what this ride is about. It's a ride. It's a community. It's just about enjoying the experience. So I would definitely encourage anybody, if you've never done it, if it's been a few years since you've done it, it's going to be a beautiful Saturday. It's going to be 80 degrees, sunny. I mean, this is perfect weather for Gran Fondo. I would recommend folks come out. Everything that you knew about the event previously and loved, it's here in spades. So come on out and join us this weekend. You're not going to get.
You won't go home hungry or thirsty.
Right.
No, we haven't even gotten to the finish line festival part yet.
Exactly.
I mean,
Even just on the bikes, yeah.
yeah.
I was going to say, you guys convinced me just by mentioning all the food that's going to be along the ride as well. You touched on the fact that there's going to be that finish line fest at the end, John. Let's talk a little bit about what to expect with that one, because obviously people are going to be having a lot of fun on the ride, but the fun is going to continue even after the finish line.
Yeah, it's been said with this event, I think since the beginning, they come for the ride, but they stay for the party. And it's more and more true every year. I mean, we've got, first of all, we're shutting down in front of Van Andel Arena for pretty much 24 hours. We'll have tents up, lots of shade, comfy chairs. We have Gilmore Catering doing, we've got a Latin station, Asian station, and then a barbecue station this year with really great selections. I mean, just the bowls that they get. With their entry, everybody gets two free drink tickets, 2 free food tickets. I mean, you leave this place stuffed. You're not going to eat for the rest of the day.
Right.
And like I said, we've got tents and we've got live music. We've got this great band out of Chicago this year called Dance Monkey. They'll be doing some sets, kind of morning into lunchtime, and then taking a break, and then from early afternoon until about close. So you've just got this really great festive atmosphere. You've got the food, you've got craft beers. We'll have non-alcoholic products as far as Pepsi and Gatorade and chocolate milk for the kids. I know Michael really has a fantastic root beer float station at the Key Bank tent every year that usually sells out pretty quick, or doesn't.
We're
sell
getting
out,
more this year.
Yeah, fantastic. And then we'll also have just ice cream for the kids too. Ice cream bars that'll be set up kind of throughout. So it's a great ride, but it's a better party. You won't find anything like this at any event, period, I think, in Michigan. This is just bar none the top party you'll find with an event.
Right.
I've got a guy that was not able to ride this year. He's ridden in years past, but he said, I'll be down for the party. So he's taking the family down and he can be hanging out, even though he can't ride this year.
Yeah, that's the great thing. I mean, people can just come down if they don't want to participate. I mean, definitely come down and volunteer, because we always use volunteers. But if you just want to come down and spectate, cheer on those riders coming across and entering the Finish Line Festival and just being part of that for the afternoon, absolutely come down and do it. You don't have to ride in this to be part of it. So
yeah. Right. Now, again, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that kind of leads me into this final question. Obviously, too many reasons not to show up and enjoy this year's Gran Fondo. But for anybody that is still maybe on the fence about it, I'd love to hear from just each of your own perspectives about why you think this is the place to be this Saturday. Maggie, I'd love to start with you. Why do you think, from a Mary Free Bed perspective and from your own perspective, why should people be heading out in droves this Saturday to downtown Grand Rapids?
Yeah, I think Michael said it best there's not many people in our community who don't know Mary Free Bed, but believe it or not, if you haven't heard of us, that's usually a good thing. That means you haven't needed our services, but when we're there for you. And I think that coming down to Gran Fondo is just paints the perfect picture of what Mary Free Bed is about. So again, even if you're not participating in the race, it's a great way to learn about Mary Free Bed and all that we stand for through its community, its movement in whatever way works for you and your normal, and just being together and moving your bodies. And there's no better place to be. Like John said, it's going to be a beautiful day. Come out and be with our community.
Absolutely. Michael, same question goes over to you.
Our summers are a treasure. It's just beautiful in West Michigan. Our city is a fantastic city. We have so much happening. So if you have an opportunity to come down and be in the center of it at a beautiful time of year on a beautiful day, and you can get some exercise, be with friends, be with family, raise money for an awesome cause, and then have a whole bunch of food and drink with live music. What better way to spend a Saturday morning and early afternoon? It's fantastic. I mean, obviously we loved it enough to want to sponsor it, but personally, it's where I want to be. It's where our family's going to go, whether they're riding or not. They're going to be downtown and having fun. So join us.
Absolutely. John, wrap it up.
Yeah, so we put on a lot of events, and there is nothing like the Grand Fondo. The overwhelming sense of community and camaraderie. It's just super special. I mean, we've each kind of talked about it. Obviously Michael is really passionate about it, has been for a long time, and you find everyone who's done this event has that same feeling. They come back year after year, and it's because there's something really special about this. And at its DNA, it's about helping the community, and that's where the Mary Free Bed piece comes in. So you can still sign up today. You can sign up right now if you want. You can become a fundraiser and even just $50, which is easy. I mean, that's a few cups of coffee a week if you're hitting some of the big coffee chains. It's easy for a lot of folks. That goes a long way to really supporting Mary Free Bed. We all know somebody or have been touched by it. I mean, even my business partner, other John, he has a family member today who is going to Mary Free Bed rehabilitation to get better and get home. So I can't think of a reason for anybody not to do this.
Right.
Even if you don't have a bike, just come down and be part of it. You won't find another experience like this in Grand Rapids this summer until next summer. So come on down, please. We'd love to see you. It's going to be a really, really great ride and a really great experience.
Yes, beautifully said. Again, this year's Grand Final happening this Saturday. We've got all the details and ways for you to register for the ride of your choosing right now over on our website, woodtv.com. Maggie, Michael, John, thank you all so much for joining us today. We so do appreciate it, and we're looking forward to Saturday.
Thank you.
Much appreciate it.
If you're looking for something fun to do with the whole family, I definitely encourage checking out the Grand Fonda. We do have, again, more information on those rides right now over on our website, woodtv.com. We're going to be taking yet another quick break here on the program. And on the other side of that break, well, we're going to be talking all about one last event that you just have to check out. And welcome back, everybody, one last time into the Weekend Planner right here on Wood TV Plus, looking at some of the other fun events to check out. Again, you can find the full Weekend Planner right now over on woodtv.com. But one event that I think a lot of people are very excited about is happening in Holland this weekend. It is the Holland Waterfront Celtic Festival and Highland Games. Yes, you're going to be able to see not only some incredible acts of feats of strength, but really, you're also going to be able to celebrate Celtic culture. We spoke to Craig Rich, the organizer and founder of the festival, to see what's in store this time around. Craig, thank you so much for joining us today on the show. We so do appreciate it.
And I'm happy to be here.
Yes, now we're super happy to have you here because, of course, we are getting set for the 5th annual Holland Waterfront Celtic Festival and Highland Games. It's happening this Friday and Saturday over at the Ottawa County Fairgrounds. We're going to be detailing what to expect at this event and also letting you know how you can grab tickets. But, of course, you can also find tickets right now over on our website, woodtv.com. Craig, let's talk a little bit about the excitement here. I can imagine you guys, just a few days away from this festival coming back for another year. You guys are pretty busy, but also probably pretty excited. What's sort of the vibe out there right now?
It's a little frenetic because of all the last minute stuff that has to happen. And then really that starts on Friday morning when we're out there setting up, although, a few things can be done on Thursday, like the major giant tents and all the infrastructure that we rent that comes in and gets set up. But Friday, our volunteers show up en masse, and we get that place looking great. And by 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon, we're ready to go. But it's pretty busy right now.
Yeah, I can imagine. But again, lots of excitement, I'm sure. And kind of want to talk a little bit about really where did this whole idea for a festival of this magnitude, of this size, of this importance really come from? I mean, obviously, there are a few Celtic celebrations that happen across West Michigan kind of throughout the year. But really, why was this something that you wanted to bring specifically to Holland, specifically at really the start of summer?
Holland didn't have a lot going on in with opportunities to really
Mhm.
celebrate the Irish and the Scottish backgrounds until the mid '90s when our new local Irish pub and a whole bunch of people who love that place got together and started doing a St. Patrick's Day parade, and Holland then had a place for people to come together and oh, you like this stuff too, this is great, yeah, we're not all
Mhm.
Dutch, we we love tulip time and most of us participate. I'm a tulip time parade marshal and a volunteer for years and years, but we said this could be fun, and
Mhm.
we started having, pub crawls, and we started having other events where we'd celebrate Tartan Day or, St. Andrew's Day or Robert Burns' birthday or whatever. And we had one of those in my garage. Here's the origin story. I have a very fancy garage, so we had a very nice dinner one night in had to be 2021, like right after COVID. Um, and one of the guys said, "Hey, I used to participate in Highland games," and kind of random. And I said, "Oh, that's great." And he said, "Yeah, we should do that in Holland." And I said, "Well, I don't know. I wouldn't want to just do Highland games. I'd want to do
Mhm.
a whole festival and not just Scottish, but Celtic. So you can bring in the Irish, the Scottish, the Welsh, and everybody else that
Right.
that comes from those Celtic nations, because so many of us have, after Ancestry.com and all the other genealogy sites, so
Mhm.
many of us have found that we do have, 10 or 20 or 50% Irish or Scottish or Celtic roots. So Peter Grimm and I, one of the two people involved in that evening, started meeting in earnest and really put this thing together as a big idea. And then started getting a bunch of people back together and planning that first one.
Mhm.
And it just happened in the fall or in the spring of 2022, and it was hugely successful. We had it right in downtown Holland. We outgrew the place after year one, and onward and upward since then.
Yeah, no, I love that. And that I was gonna about to ask you, Craig, to kind of go over how this whole thing kind of came to be. So I appreciate you explaining about that. But again, let's talk about the importance of having something like this, though,
Hmm.
because you did touch on the fact that tulip time and sort of Dutch culture is really reigning supreme down in
Yeah.
Holland. But again, that's obviously a big deal in the springtime. Tulips are popping up. But Celtic culture, I mean, why is it so important, really, to have
Mm,
these sort of cultural festivals for people that
sure.
maybe don't for cultures that really don't get that kind of same limelight, I guess, that maybe the Dutch culture does in the Holland area.
I think we all want to celebrate not only our own but each other's heritage.
Hmm.
I'm not Dutch at all, but I've been involved in tulip time since the 1990s. My wife was about 90 some odd percent Dutch, but I do have an Irish background with a great grandfather who was from Ireland, and so I've always kind of loved it. And the music of the 80s and 90s that started coming out, that ethereal Celtic, Irish, Scottish sound of
Hmm.
bands like Anya and others. It just kind of brought us together. People who weren't even Irish or Scottish started loving that kind of music. The bands Clannad and others like that. And I think the music is a good starting point for a lot of this. So to be able to share that love with each other, and many of us who aren't Hispanic go to the Hispanic festival every year.
Hmm.
we
Right.
we some of us go to the Asian festival, some of us go to the Pride Fest, even though that's not us maybe, but we love sharing each other's cultures and each other's backgrounds, and I think that's the cool thing, where you can learn about each other and appreciate what each of us feels passionate about, even if it's not maybe our main passion. And that's why festivals work so well.
Hmm. Right now, and on top of obviously getting to experience that culture, you're going to have a lot of fun at these next couple of days for the Celtic Festival happening in Holland. Craig,
Mm,
let's kind of go over both days, if you don't mind.
okay.
I
Yeah.
probably spend quite a bit of time going over each and everything that people can find and participate in each and every day. But if you want,
Mhm.
maybe just want to go through and kind of pick out the big highlights, the things that people are going to be super excited to check out
Oh,
both Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, we start out on Friday, a little different than a lot of other festivals. We tried this and it seemed to work, so we stuck with it. Friday is an adults only day. So we start
Okay.
at 4 in the afternoon and we go to 11 p.m. We call it a ceilidh, which is both an Irish and a Scottish name for like a party. And traditional ceilidh involves like call and response dancing, kind of like square dancing almost, but we don't do any of that. We just have bands on stage. We have Guinness as a sponsor, so the bar is available. We have a whiskey bar. We have our food vendors all set up. We have Celtic goods vendors and other vendors set up to sell their goods, and it's just a phenomenal party. But it is 21 and over, and it's kind of for couples or mom and dad to come out and leave the kids with a babysitter, and then come back with the kids on Saturday because Saturday is rocking for kids. But Friday is great. We have 4 bands playing between 4 p.m. and 11 p.m. We have Ironwood, perennial favorite at our festival. We have the Creelers, and then we have a band, probably the most famous Scottish touring band called Albanach, and we also have the Mudmen, perennial favorite at our festival. They are from Canada, and they just do a great job.
Hmm. All
So
right, let's
that's
talk a little.
Friday.
Yeah, now that's just the first day. Again, this is a 2-day festival, so again, still, if you're having fun on Friday, you're probably going to want to check out Saturday too. Craig, what's in store then?
Saturday, we start out bright and early. The gates open at 9 a.m. and we go till 11 p.m. It's a long day for us and all the volunteers. So everything I mentioned before is available also on Saturday. But in addition to that, we had a second music stage, so we have simultaneous music stages going on, and we have a dance stage completely set up separately with 4 different dance schools putting on 8 different performances throughout the day. We also have the Highland Games going full blast over in our
Hmm.
grandstand area because we're at the fairgrounds, so we have a lovely grandstand, and you can sit in the barrier-free area. You can get up into the grandstand itself, or you can walk or roll in and set up on some of our bleachers that we have set up. And you're going to be seeing caber tossing, which is, people look at it as like a small telephone pole. Um, if you want to see that kind of sport, this is the place to go. They're tossing everything else too, like sheafs of hay up over 20, 30-foot high standards with a pitchfork of all things. Stone throwing, which in all of these Celtic sports evolved from farm chores, you know, pitching the hay up into a
Hmm.
barn, into the hay loft, or clearing a field of logs or rocks and throwing things, and then it turned into a competition. And
Right.
now we celebrate that with the Highland Games. We also have this year brand new a Highland cow display coming in, which I tell you, I mean, people melt when I tell them that because Highland cows are, I think, probably the cutest animals on
Hmm.
God's earth.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, they're
Hard to
just,
beat that.
oh my gosh, with the hairy faces and all of that. And they call them hairy coos over there.
Hmm.
And then we're also bringing in another brand new feature, which is border collies that go round up sheep and bring them back, just like on the farms in Ireland and
Wow.
Scotland. So that's a great display. And all of this is free
Hmm.
once you get into the festival. We have tomahawk throwing with a guy who comes to us every year at our festival well, at least he's been there 3 times. This will be his 4th year, and his name is Hawk, as you might imagine. And you can just throw tomahawks for free with him throughout the day. We also have the Kalamazoo Pipe and Drum Band playing about 5 times during the day. And they're going to be also leading our little parade of Scottish clans, which does a big loop around the festival at noon on Saturday.
Hmm.
So the spectacle of all the clans and that band out front, it actually stops the music on our music stages for a few minutes as everybody just turns and watches. And speaking of the Scottish clans, oh my gosh, we have 24 Scottish clans and a few other societies coming in to set up a tent and talk about their clan, and maybe you'll find out it's your clan
Right.
if you have that kind of Scottish history. We also have a genealogy tent where you can go get a little bit of assistance. They'll do some quick lookups and try to match you up possibly with a Scottish clan or an Irish family that you might be unaware of, if possible. This year, we're also introducing another new feature, which is if you go to an Irish pub and you happen to be there the night they have a session going on, it's the greatest thing because it's literally neighbors coming in and just sitting in a circle or a semicircle and playing music from the heart. Somebody goes, "Hey, everybody know this one?"
Hmm.
And we have that at our festival this year with a session tent going on. We put it off to the back a little bit so it won't get drowned out by the main music stage or anything. But so that's brand new. I mean, there's so much new, and yet we're bringing back
Right.
everything that we've been doing for the last few
Mhm.
years as well.
Yeah, no, again, I think if people have been to some of the festivals of past, in the past, they're going to be seeing some of the familiar favorites, but then also all this new stuff is going to be
Oh,
a great time.
amazing.
Again, the fifth annual Holland Waterfront Celtic Festival and Highland Games is taking place at the Ottawa County Fairgrounds this Friday and Saturday. We do have ways for you to grab those tickets right now and also check out, again, that full itinerary that Craig just mentioned right now over on our website, woodtv.com. Craig, you've done a fantastic job explaining what's going to be there and maybe, some of the excitement that people are going to be able to experience at this festival. But, I'm going to let you kind of have the final word for anybody that is maybe still on the fence. I don't know how they are, but if they're still on the fence about showing up both Friday and Saturday, what would you tell them to get them out there?
Well, I think our pricing structure is unique. The adults only Friday, June 26th from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. does cost $25, so it's not cheap.
Mhm.
But you also get to come back on Saturday all day for free. And any kids you bring that are 15 and under are also free. So really it's a one ticket that gets you through the 2 days. I didn't mention all the bands that we do have on Saturday, and it's an amazing lineup on two stages, and a lot of them are going to be familiar. To our viewers because they've played around West Michigan, but yet we're bringing in some brand new. We have the Mona Shores Fiddlers, we have Kennedy's Kitchen,
Mhm.
Belfast Gin. We have a band called World, which is phenomenal. Uh, the Leprechauns are back, and they are just so much fun to watch, and great musicians too, by the way.
Right.
Crossbow will be back. They're a perennial favorite at our festival. They may be the only band that's been there all 5 years now, maybe one other. Also, the Mudmen are coming back on Saturday. On the Lash will be there. They're a Michigan-based band. Again, Albanak will be back on Saturday. Toby Brejnahan, Uneven Ground, Black Murray, the Conklin Cayley Band. It's just a great lineup, and we're just so excited to be able to bring it to people. So it's at the Ottawa County Fairgrounds, June 26 and 27. HollandCelticFestival.org is the website.
Mhm.
Find us on Facebook and follow us for all the updates and last minute changes or anything like that. And you won't be disappointed. You're going to love it.
Absolutely. We're very much looking forward to it. Craig, thank you so much for stopping by today. We so do appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk about something that we love.
Absolutely. And I want to thank Craig and really all of our guests today on the program. Again, there is something for everybody this weekend right here in West Michigan. And if you're still in the need of something fun to check out, well, I highly encourage you to check out our weekend planner right now over on our website, woodtv.com. That is going to do it for us on this edition of the Weekend Planner on Wood TV Plus. I'm Phil Pinarski, hoping that everybody has a safe and very fun weekend.